32-year-old Dan Shieshie Matakaya is a survivor of domestic violence. For those who knew him before 2013, he could be unrecognizable. He served as a police officer stationed in Kisii, married and blessed with one child. Life would, however, take an unfortunate twist when they lost their only child. It was in their season of mourning that his wife, now ex-wife, did the unthinkable, pouring acid on his face.
I never knew it was sulfuric acid, but I just felt a burning sensation. At that time, I was so confused, and when I woke up to try and get some water to dissolve the burns, to reduce the burns, when I stepped on the floor, I felt a shock. She had gone further and connected electricity and poured some water on the floor, whereby she wanted me to be electrocuted in the house.
But why would somebody this close to him go to this extent?
When we first met in court, and I asked her, why, what happened? Why did you decide to do this to me? And she told me, alidanganya. That was what she told me.
His journey to seek treatment was not an easy one. He recounts the pain and agony he went through during his more than 6 months stay in hospital.
I remember I was crying, struggling with myself. At that time, I was not seeing. The pain was so severe, and what the doctors did was to inject me and let me to sleep, because they felt I was suffering a lot. So when I slept, by the time I woke up, I was not seeing. Remember, when I slept, I was seeing, but when I woke up, I was not seeing.
Matakaya almost gave up and at some point contemplated suicide.
The doctor came and told me that, Dan, we are sorry, you won't see again. The only prayer I was making while in the hospital is for God to restore my sight. But after I was given that statement, it was so hard to handle the situation. So death was the only option remaining for me.
And so what was his turning point?
Even though I'm seeing myself as useless, as nothing, unworthy, but someone somewhere else is seeing me as something. He's seeing worth in me. So from that time, I changed my attitude. From thinking of committing suicide, now to thinking on how I will embrace the condition that I have.
Matakaya may not have gotten his sight back, but he was left with scars of strength. He decided to use his experience to inspire victims of domestic violence to turn into survivors, an endeavor that would give rise to the Dan Shieshie Foundation. Matakaya says that the stigma on men assaulted by their partners remains rife, causing many cases to go unreported, a narrative that he seeks to change through a platform that encourages men who are victims of domestic violence to speak out.
And remember, even after the hospital, many men were approaching me and asking me, how have you managed? Because many were going through issues, but it wasn't easier for them to cope up and let it go. And some were getting into depression, some were committing suicide. So I felt that I need to do something.
With cases of domestic violence surging in the wake of the COVID-19 global pandemic, he found it necessary to change tact by launching an online call-in counseling program to ensure that victims do not suffer in silence.
Now you can see there is the issue of lockdown and curfew. So it's hard even for these men to cope up, because they have a family who depends on them. Now many of them don't have work, they don't earn anything, so they feel even depressed.
Victims can call through the 24-hour toll-free line 1196 that connects them to a pool of professional counselors. Much as he appreciates the progress made since the program was launched, Matakaya says many victims who call in need more than just counseling, and he is calling for the support of well-wishers and other partners.
It's not only counseling, they need to be rescued. Others need medication. So it's something we are working on. Of course, we need people to come and join us and help us, support us even financially, so that we can achieve this. Because it's our society, these are our brothers, they are our sisters, they are our parents. So we need to help these people.
You can send your support to Dan Shieshie Foundation through Safaricom paybill number 741057, using your name as the account number. And even as he pursues justice, Matakaya says he has chosen to forgive and even hopes to fall in love again.
I dealt with the bitterness, and what helped me a lot was the time I forgave her.
This unfortunate experience has turned Dan Shieshie into a bedrock of strength, and as he shares hope with other victims of domestic violence, he says more needs to be done to address the plight of thousands who could be suffering in silence. For Channel 1 News, I'm Serfine Achieng.